I know that they're a tough act to follow, but I'd like to now introduce the Executive Director of the Flint Institute of Arts, John Henry.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's so nice to see so many community leaders here for this announcement today. You know, we've been working together to find solutions for our community, and today I am pleased to celebrate our continued partnership with PNC Foundation and our START, that is Success Through Art program. But I'd like to briefly discuss our corporate sponsorship relationship, but first I'd like to acknowledge Tim Salisbury. Would you stand, please? Tim is Regional President, Mid-Michigan Region for the PNC Financial Services Group, and with him is Jennifer Sturdy, Director of Client and Community Relations Office for the Regional President, Mid-Michigan Region PNC Financial Services Group. That's not all on her name tag, I can tell you that right now. I was thinking about this event this weekend when I was reading the Wall Street Journal, and there was an article in there from the June issue of the Journal of Brain and Cognition, which I don't normally read, but the headline got me on this one. The study found that paintings activated areas of the brain involved in vision pleasure, memory, recognition and emotions, in addition to systems that underlie the conscious processing of new information to give it meaning. What that means is looking at art is really good for brain development. And this is a scientific study. Usually these studies are hard to substantiate. They're more intuitive than scientific. So hopefully this is evidence that's going to really lead to maybe a greater engagement with the arts in the future here in America. As we prepare our children for the 21st century, it's clear that a quality education is paramount. If our children are going to succeed in life, they need a good education in school. Decades of research show that learning begins long before children enter kindergarten. Brain development accelerates quickly in infancy and is well advanced by the time 5-year-olds reach school. And it's become clear that if we wish to improve student success, we must start in early childhood with high-quality school readiness programs. The grant from PNC Foundation, which receives its principal funding from the PNC Financial Services Group, Incorporated, enables the Flint Institute of Arts to provide direct services to over 3,000 3- to 5-year-old children enrolled in early school programs in Genesee County, including Head Start and Great Start Readiness programs. Activities are presented in the children's classroom and in the FIA galleries and studios to foster the development of reading, math, science, thinking, and creative skills needed to succeed in school and in life. Related family programs provide literacy-based learning experiences and resources, including the Grow Up Great program materials for children and their families. Now I'd like to reintroduce to you Monique DeSormo, our Curator of Education, who's going to tell you more about the START program. And thank you all for coming this morning.
Okay. Since its founding in 1928, the Flint Institute of Arts has been committed to making the visual arts available, approachable, and accessible to our community. Our audience ranges from infants to senior citizens. Preschool through grade 12 programming provides over 30,000 encounters with art for students throughout Genesee County each year. 3 years ago, with support from the PNC Foundation, we launched the START program, providing children enrolled in Head Start programs with quality visual arts experiences. And now, continued support from PNC Foundation in the form of a $10,000 grant will enable us to expand the START program by 800% to provide in-depth learning experiences for over 3,000 Genesee County children and their families each year for the next 3 years. School readiness is a very important concern in our community. If young children are going to do well in life, they need to do well in school. The recent water crisis has increased awareness of the needs of young children and focused attention on the importance of early childhood learning experiences to combat cognitive and behavioral challenges resulting from environmental factors, including but not limited to lead poisoning. Art is one of the first languages of children. Long before they can use words to communicate effectively, they make marks on paper to express their feelings, record their experiences, and understand the world they are getting to know. Our START program creates a multisensory and experiential environment and presents layered art experiences to accommodate children's varied needs. START has 3 components: in-school lessons, gallery and studio programs at the FIA, and family resources. Literacy-based lessons offered in preschool classrooms utilize children's literature to practice visual perception skills, review art concepts, and build vocabulary. And here's a very short clip for you to watch.
Do you notice any other shapes on this?
I see a circle.
You see a house? What kind of shapes are made of the house? You see a dog? Oh, you see some shapes along the side.
Gallery experiences engage children in looking at and talking about original works of art in our galleries, and art-making activities in our studios enhance creative skills as children explore art materials, practice art-making techniques, and create their own art. And this clip shows the program in action.
In the gallery, we give students a minute to look at and think about a work of art. Then we ask open-ended questions like, what's going on in this picture? At this age, students generally respond by naming the things they see, but they also begin to make meaning as well.
Grass.
There's grass. Everybody see the grass down here?
Yeah.
When this happens, we prompt them to provide evidence for their interpretations with questions like, what do you see that makes you say that?
Key entree.
The sidewalk.
Oh, there's a sidewalk. Yeah, there aren't as many sidewalks in the country, are there?
This kind of conversation encourages the children to think critically and analyze, higher level thinking skills that will set them up for success in school and life. Reading and visual literacy skills are strengthened as children listen to and talk about children's literature. During story time, we often stop and think about the illustrations, analyzing what we see and how it tells the story.
I see a tree house.
A tree house. Yes, his house is made out of a tree.
In the studio, the art-making process exposes children to new techniques and quality materials. The activities allow them to use their fine motor skills, which are needed for writing and drawing when they start school. Creating art also allows the students to express ideas and emotions, contributing to self-esteem. The inspiration for the projects can be taken from the works of art we looked at in the galleries, the storybook we read, or both.
Addressing family involvement is another way of ensuring student success. More than 40 years of research has documented that increased family engagement has a positive impact on education outcomes. Thus, the START program includes take-home literacy kits and skill-building workshops for families that introduce learning resources available at the FIA and teach skills needed to support learning beyond school walls and at home. I am very pleased to announce that the take-home kits will include Words Are Here, There, and Everywhere, and Reading Adventure Passports from Sesame Street and the Grow Up Great program. I would like to thank the PNC Foundation for enabling us to expand the START program to address community needs and ensure that our children will grow up great. And now please welcome Tim Salisbury, Mid-Michigan Regional President, PNC Financial Services.
Thanks, Monique. Did a great job there being able to give us a glimpse as to what this programming can mean to these children. There's so many facets to it, and it's always exciting to see how we touch so many young people. You know, those kids that you saw there, we've all had the opportunity to grow up great in this room. Now it's our job to make sure that they and their peers have that same opportunity to grow up great. The only thing I'll clean up, Monique, for the great explanation you did there is, unless you're giving us a rebate, I think it's a $100,000 grant, not $10,000.
Sorry.
PNC is deeply committed to preparing today's young children, our next generation, to succeed in school and life. That's why PNC is investing nationwide in an early childhood program called Grow Up Great. The largest corporate investment of its kind in the country, Grow Up Great was created to help parents, caregivers, and community prepare young children for success in school and life. We developed this program and make these investments because we know the future, our future quality of life depends upon the success of the next generation. Throughout our corporate footprint, Grow Up Great programs are helping underserved preschool children overcome a wide variety of challenges. As the story about Flint's lead in Flint's water supply went national, PNC's leadership came together to discuss how we could invest our resources as part of the Grow Up Great program to do the most good locally. We chose to work with our longtime partner, Flint Institute of Arts, to create a Success Through Arts program designed to help the most vulnerable residents impacted by this situation, children aged 3 to 5 years old. The START program was created to address the well-known link between early childhood arts education and higher achievement in other cognitive and academic domains. Our grant will allow Flint Institute of Arts to offer smart programming to 3,100 Flint area preschool children each year for the next 3 years. It will feature a variety of educational sessions administered by Flint Institute of Arts professionals. In addition, each participating family will receive family literacy kits, as well as PNC Grow Up Great passports and digital book downloads. I'm proud to note, through the Grow Up Great program, each employee at PNC has the opportunity to volunteer up to 40 hours of paid time off each year. As the employees engage in this program and others through Grow Up Great, they'll be doing everything from preparing the family literacy kits that you saw, attending Flint Institute of Arts Flint family events, and probably even more exciting than that, as those employees accumulate their volunteer hours, they're eligible to earn additional grant dollars that will be donated to this program for their efforts. That is through PNC's Grant for Great Hours program. There's no quick fix to the health issues faced by the people of Flint. It's been heartwarming to see the infusion of generosity and community support that is poured into this city. This program builds upon that support and will have a lasting impact on Flint's children. We'd really like to thank our partners, the Flint Institute of Arts, Head Start, and the Child Care Network of Flint for working with us on this immensely important project. Our goal is to ensure that every child in Flint has the opportunity to grow great. I really appreciate you all joining, having interest in this with us this morning. And I think, Monique, you're going to just come up and close this out, right? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us today. The children that you saw earlier are over in Studio One participating in an art activity, and they're also in the galleries, in the Ruthmont Gallery. If any of you wanted to drop in and see the program in action, you're more than welcome to do so, and we can help get you to where you want to go. Thank you very much again for joining us today. We're so glad that you're here. And we're really looking forward to a wonderful next 3 years of really giving our children what they need to succeed. Thanks again to the PNC Foundation for their support of $100,000 over the next 3 years. Thank you all very much.